Okay, Rob, we move around to the next spoke
Hmm.
on the culture cloud, artifact.
Okay, let's have a
Uh,
quick look at the cloud. Okay,
mm,
so um, yeah, anyone in archaeology, anthropology, social sciences, religious studies understands the criticality of artifacts, and you really can't study artifacts unless you also have some expertise in semiotics, um, and some expertise in aesthetics and poetics. So there's a strong connection between this one and what we're going to speak about next in the elements of culture. So, you know, if you're an archaeologist, or if you're in Aboriginal studies in Australia or First Nations people, they can find a stick and it can tell them a story about something that was done 20,000 years ago. They can find a painting on a cave wall and tell you something that was a reality in Indigenous culture 40,000 years ago. They can find a rock setting in a river and tell you something that was done 65,000 years ago. And yet there's no text, there's no language, no one's speaking, and so on. So we can see visually, without text, without language, without paralinguistics, we can actually see in artifacts, if you understand what culture is, you then can bring that to bear through the artifact, and the artifact can tell you something. So if I wander into an organization and they allow me several days to just walk around, observe, and some companies do, I can already tell them what artifacts they have in their organization which are counterproductive to safety. And that doesn't matter whether it's a safety notice board or whether it's the way they've arranged their car park or whether their toilets create negativity or so on. So, you know, being sensitive to artifacts, being sensitive to objects is not the same thing as being sensitive in a safety way to objects. So, for example, safety looks at an object and its whole vision is this a hazard? Is this not a hazard? When you're in the social psychology of risk, we're not interested in, is this object a hazard? We're interested in, what does this object communicate about the community, the culture, and the nature of these people? And so if I go into your toilets, they're filthy, they're not cleaned, there's graffiti everywhere, and I feel dirty myself, then I know that the culture on that building site or on that work site doesn't consider me to be of great value. And that's communicated simply by neglected toilets.
mm.
And that tells me about leadership. It tells me about relationships between people. It tells me about the level of care. It tells me about the level of respect. And I haven't spoken to anyone. And that's only one object, you know. And so this is the power of understanding artifacts in an archaeological way within culture, in an organization, as a system of communication.
It's interesting you say that most people look at artifacts as being something that's material that has significance.
Yeah, safety people don't.
Mm.
Something's either a hazard or it's not. If it's not a hazard, then they don't give it too much thought. There's no study in any safety degree or diploma anywhere across the globe that considers the things which SPORE does in relationship to artifacts. There's no thought
Yeah.
about it all at all.
Yes, we have seen on many, many sites the amount of clutter that's up on the safety notice board with,
Oh.
flooded junk.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's leave it there with artifacts, because there's such a depth to that we could talk for days on this. And
Well,
we'll
do you
move
want to
the
go?
next one.
Do you want